No need to retreat this bishop. No need to move it back, because we can continue with our attack. Brilliant move is rook h6. Wow. And there's no good way to stop it. If you play knight takes knight, then queen g6 check, that's it. On the left are a list of openings, on the right a list of players. Openings and players will change depending on what the viewers want. So far I have covered the best King's Indian attack by Vladimir Kramnik, the best Benko Gambit by Pal Benko, the worst Fischer-Sozin attacks by Bobby Fischer. In this video I will cover the best Jobava system by Baadur Jobava. Why is this called the Jobava system? From this table you can see he has played it 46 times. He's won 22 games, 9 draws and 15 losses. The important thing is he wins more than he loses in an opening that has his name. In this video I want to check out the best game I can find in the Jobava system by Jobava against Mamedyarov. Firstly, a player introduction. The game was played in 2014, so he was 30 years old at the time. He is now 36. Georgian #1, 3-time Georgian champion. Peak classical rating 2734 back in 2012. He's known for his creative style. Known for the Jobava system, which is 1d4, 2 knight c3, then bishop f4, which we will see in this video. Against e4, he has played, for example, the French and the Caro-Kann. Mamedyarov, 30 years old at the time, he is now 35. Azerbaijan #2. Peak classical rating 2820 back in 2018. Currently world #11, known for playing 1d4 most of the time with white. Against e4 he has played, for example, the Open Spanish. Let's check out this amazing game. Baadur Jobava versus Shakhriyar Mamedyarov. June 2014, the World Championship Rapid. The game began. d4, knight f6, knight c3, d5, bishop f4. We have the Jobava system. Baadur is a very creative player. Let's see in this game. Bishop f5 and f3. This is an idea by white to start a quick kingside expansion. e6, g4, with the pawn chain starting at e2, bishop g6, h4, threatening h5, so here black goes h6, giving the bishop room, and e3. We have this nice pawn structure in the center called the bathtub. After e3, black struck in the center with c5, giving white an option of going knight b5, and we'll see maybe black should have played a6 on the move before, to not give white this option. So after c5, h5, let's kick the bishop back to h7 and knight b5. Coming into c7, so maybe he should have played a6. Knight a6, only move to stop it. c3, now we have a triangle pawn structure in the center, and black gets ready to castle with bishop e7. No need to take in the center because white is planning to take this way, and we have 2 pawn chains going for white. We've got b2, c3, d4, and also f3, g4, h5. Black did not take, so he went bishop e7. Now bishop d3, trading off black's piece. Take, take, and knight d7. Perhaps black is worried of white going g5, so he puts his knight on d7. In the game, knight e2 played. You don't want to go knight d6 check, which is a blunder, because after take, take, notice the bishop is not on c1, protecting the b2 pawn, so black can go queen b6, attacking both. Now knight e2 looks very sensible, but the engine suggested knight h3. A strange move. The idea is to force g5 no matter what. After castle you can go rook g1, and g5 is coming. If you play an ugly move like f6, it does stop g5, but it creates holes around your king. And here it does not work. White can crash through, queen g6 check, check, g5, winning on the king side. Knight e2 played by Baadur, castle and a4. Just defending your knight, getting space on the queen side. Maybe he is saying to black, I don't have to castle queen side. I could just park my king on f2. In the game, bishop f6 played, but I want to show you this amazing way to untangle your knight on a6. Instead of bishop f6, black can play queen b6. So what's the idea? Well, let's play a few moves to see this amazing way to untangle. Let's say you just put the king on f2, no need to castle queenside. Rook c8, rook g1, queen d8. Okay, you've got your rook to c8, now what? White can go rook g2, then rook g1x, knight f8. Now here, careful, don't go knight b8, trying to play a6, because white has knight d6, so a bit too early. So here, knight f8 first, also very useful, because if rook g1, then knight h7. So black has played in a very prophylactic manner. He has seen white's threats, stopped them, and then continued with his plan on the queen side. Very nice variation pointed out by Stockfish. So if white plays a move like queen d2, then knight b8 is the idea. And then we have it, a6. All this maneuvering just to get rid of this knight. Queen d2, knight b8. If you take, giving your knight space in the center, you can go rook c5. a6, knight c6 next. I think black is doing great because black has stopped white's kingside attack. But really, the game has just begun. So after a4, bishop f6, bishop d6, rook e8. Black wants to open up the center with e5, so white stops it with f4. Knight b6, and now white is taking over. White now crashes through with g5, a typical pawn sacrifice to open up the kingside. There's no need to support it with rook g1 because the way white is opening it up is just so fast. So why support it? Take, and then h6. g6, let's block the h file. Take, bishop g5, h7 check. King g7, so then the rook can go to h8. Bishop e5 check, f6, and now knight d6. Great move. Rook h8 was played in the game. The best option was actually to give back some material. Knight takes, rook check, queen takes, you get a queen, take, 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 and white is much better, but at least it's still some sort of a mess. Because after castle, rook g1 is next, maybe black can block in the center with e4. Back to the game, knight d6 played, and rook h8 played to stop promotion. Pause the video to have a go. What do you think white can play now, just to continue the attack? I'll give you 5 seconds. The move is knight f4. We have a weak spot on g6. So let's just play knight f4. No need to retreat this bishop. No need to move it back because we can continue with our attack. Bishop takes f4, take, g5, and still. The great thing about this game is there have been many moments where the bishop has been attacked and you don't need to move it. Castle, once again, showing the fact that black's king is just too weak. You can't take because rook g1 check, it's over. So knight c4. Pause the video to find a tactic. How can white get in on the g6 square? I'll give you 5 seconds. The brilliant move is rook h6. Wow. And there's no good way to stop it. If you play knight takes knight, then queen g6 check, that's it. King f8, bishop takes knight, check first. Deflecting the queen, then queen f6 check, winning the rook. So after rook h6, Mamedyarov took. This does give the queen up, but there was no other way. Knight f7 check. This was Jobava's idea. King g7 take, rook d8, and still no need to move the bishop on f4. Jobava attacks the knight on c4 with b3, kicking the knight back, and still no need to move it. Rook g1. Amazing. Black played g5 on move 24. It is now move 30. White still does not need to move this bishop. Amazing attacking moves by white. Rook takes h7, e4, crashing through in the center. Another option was to play bishop takes g5, take, check, and then taking on c5 with queen d4 check. So you can't take this pawn on c5, so if you move the knight, then b4, and still lots of threats. Queen d4 check, queen g6. But in the game, white chose e4, king h8, and e5. But now black takes the bishop and will soon be lost. G takes f4 played in the game. You can't take the pawn because bishop e5 check. That's it. King g8, queen g6 check, and you lose the rook. So G takes f4, queen g6 with the threat of queen f6 and mate. If you defend it, E takes f6 is the idea. And here black resigned. Black has 2 knights on the queen side and they are doing nothing. So how does white finish it off? Because where's the checkmate? If the game continued, knight d7, then you go f7. And there is the threat of queen g8 checkmate. And here, there's no good way to stop it. If you take the pawn, then queen g8 is mate. If you use the other rook, then rook h1, check, and then mate, next move. If rook h7, then queen is mate. After f7, one more option. If you just move the knight, then queen g8 is the threat. And checkmate after promotion. A superb attacking game by Jobava. Check out one video here and another video over here. If you enjoyed the show, why not like the video and subscribe to the channel at the same time. Don't forget to hit that bell to get notified each time I release a new video. Thank you so much for watching.